Live, we are live. It is week 12, game number 5 of the 2021 NFL season. It is between the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Now let this go and see all after the game.
We'll see Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by the sold-out Heinz Field crowd. The Steelers getting set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steelers set to go on offense, and it is the Big Ben, number 7, Ben Roethlisberger, ready to lead them.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating. He's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
First carry for the 2018 Pro Bowler James Conner. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Roethlisberger. And his throw here is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. But now it'll be third down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Well, how about the passing numbers so far in this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flipping it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
A 1 yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1 yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1 yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get him the next time.
On second down now, it's Connor. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. His pass clock at the 4. And the Steelers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
This passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate. Got the ball downfield, getting those chunks of yardage. But in this situation, the field is really condensed right now. So if you don't throw the football, that's the big here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer to put it in the end zone.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on first and goal.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Again, it'll be Connor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Roethlisberger will throw. Always trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a long field ahead for the Ravens to start things out. They'll be led out by a former most valuable player in the National Football League, the always dangerous Lamar Jackson.
And what a sophomore season he had for the Cardinals. Pretty much swept every major quarterback award, including the Heisman Trophy. And we spent a lot of time talking about his legs. Formidable. He can run the ball like few others, but the key to everything for him is his ability to be accurate from the pocket.
carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Officially no gain on the play, and a second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in this spot, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up the 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And this one caught by Dennis Bryant. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Jackson. Rolling to his right. They'll try and run it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
To go for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Jackson throwing on target to Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the second down.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 30 yard. Operating from the gun. Jackson. He completes it to Bryant. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards out of it.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Jackson on first down, sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. Maybe you get back to rush like too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now first and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead there to make the grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, look at our shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come home with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Big Ben of the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll set up to throw from the gun, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. There's Roethlisberger to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Well, it's right, run forward with counter. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And we tend to give those running backs and the slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the Steelers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
That's a play that likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. You know, points result. We'll call this play significant.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Roethlisberger. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And the throw again. And it's caught. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. And Roethlisberger as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So only even at 7 now as they kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, we'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Fielded just outside the goal line. It takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it to 26. Up come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he powers his way up past the 30. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Jackson. They're rolling out right, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for him.
Line of scrimmage to 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Yeah, he's going to keep it here. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And now Jackson Jackson to look to throw it. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Take him down behind the line. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys that they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. To try again after the sack. Jackson, quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't give it, though. They'll try to run for him with Evans. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both would have said, go for it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
But there's pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3-yard line, gotta love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
They'll try to run with Dobbins. And again, touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Ravens have taken the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that was a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run for J.K. Dobbins. Tucker down to kick it away following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones who need to touch the ball.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. And they get him down the number 4. He takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and well supported. I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 44, Roethlisberger. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Open and Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. So it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, but it's another first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there for the offense. They're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Roethlisberger. An unlucky number here, a loss of 13 on the play. And now make it 2nd and goal. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Throwing on 2nd and long. Roethlisberger looking middle, and it's incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. For the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Boswell's kick is good. And they'll come the lead back down to 4 down at 14-10. It's an interesting call there to take the 3, and I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Well, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded in the end zone, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield, go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know the defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Sam Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Did a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
You need to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you just hold a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give the defense a really nice opportunity.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They start the drive with Connor, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A give to the brother of JJ. This is Derek Watt. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Ravens touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So Big Ben and the Steelers now down 21-10. A little under a minute 50 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. From the 30 on second down, Roethlisberger looking for his running back, and he's got it. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Third and 2, now Roethlisberger. And he connects with Ebron. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 42. And what a return as he brings us all the way back down to the 20-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they have the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll go again with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. On third down, here's Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
Because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one are thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.
Alright guys, there you have it. The Ravens are winners over the Steelers 28-10. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream and I'll be back with another live stream right after I set it up. So be right back.